Hello friends, today I will talk to you about a very interesting and profound topic, the Book of Enoch. This book is a text that is generally lesser known among sacred writings but holds great importance. The Book of Enoch narrates a period before Abraham and bears traces of ancient Jewish beliefs and mythologies. Enoch is an important figure mentioned in the sacred scriptures. Although he is briefly mentioned in the Bible, particularly in the book of Genesis, his story is elaborated in much more detail in the book of Enoch. So, what is the book of Enoch? Why is it so significant? This book sheds light on how people understood their relationship with God, their interactions with celestial beings, the mysteries of life, and how they envisioned the end of the world. The Book of Enoch has played an important role in shaping both Jewish and Christian beliefs and has led to many different interpretations. The book features powerful imagery, such as Enoch's ascension to heaven, his special communication with God, and his 7 heavenly journeys. In this video, we will take a closer look at the content, historical context, and impact of the Book of Enoch, exploring why it holds such a special place among ancient texts. If you're ready, let's begin. Who is Enoch? Enoch is a very special figure mentioned in the Old Testament, known as one who walked with God, Genesis 5 verse 24. His name is briefly mentioned in the book of Genesis. However, despite this short reference, the story of Enoch deepens significantly. Enoch is a person who lived before Abraham and was of the 7th generation. Genesis 5 verse 24 states, Enoch lived 365 years, walked with God, and then he was no more because God took him away. From this, it is understood that Enoch was a person close to God. In Islam, Enoch is considered a holy prophet, and his name appears in the Quran as Idris. Idris holds an important place among the Islamic prophets, and his life, teachings, and relationship with God are mentioned in several verses of the Quran. According to Islam, Idris was a very pious and truthful prophet, and Allah elevated him to the heavens. His ascension to the heavens, being taken by Allah before his death, is recorded in many Islamic sources. This event signifies that Idris reached a high spiritual level and attained Allah's grace in a way different from other prophets. Enoch is also the son of Lamech and the father of Methuselah. He is known as a man who rejected the evil of the descendants of Cain and was faithful to God. However, more information about Enoch's life can be found in the Book of Enoch. This book contains interesting topics such as Enoch's heavenly journeys, his communication with angels, and the secrets of the world and universe. The rediscovery of the Book of Enoch occurred thanks to a Scottish explorer named James Bruce. Between 1768 and 1773, Bruce traveled to Africa and came across important religious and historical texts in Ethiopia. Bruce found traces of lost ancient texts in Ethiopian monasteries and churches, and he believed these texts should be introduced to the Western world. In 1773, when returning from Ethiopia, Bruce brought back with him manuscripts of the Book of Enoch written in the Guizi language. These texts, found in Ethiopian churches and monasteries, were unknown in the Western world at that time. Bruce realized the great value of these texts and believed they should be studied worldwide, taking them to London. Additionally, in the 20th century, the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls revealed the deep historical connection between the Book of Enoch and ancient Jewish texts. Some versions of the book, written on parchment, were found in the Qumran caves, and this discovery increased interest in the Book of Enoch. In February or March 1947, a young Bedouin goat herder named Muhammad Ahmed El Hamid, while searching for his lost goats, threw a stone into a hole on a hill 13 kilometers south of Jericho on the western shore of the Dead Sea. Hearing the sound of breaking pottery, he descended into the cave below and found large jars containing leather scrolls wrapped in linen cloth. Because the mouths of the jars were tightly sealed, the scrolls had been preserved undisturbed for about 1900 years. Research shows that these manuscripts were placed in the cave around 68 CE. In the discovery of 1947 and the excavation work between 1952 to 1956, a total of 11 caves were found to contain these manuscripts. These manuscripts were classified according to the caves in which they were found. 5 of the manuscripts found in Cave 1 were purchased by the Syrian Orthodox Archbishop in Jerusalem, while 3 others were bought by Professor E. L. Sukenik of the Hebrew University. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls is one of the most important archaeological finds of the 20th century. These manuscripts illuminate the history of a religious community that settled in the Qumran Valley by the Dead Sea from the 1st century BCE to the 2nd century CE. This community, known as the Qumran community or the Essenes, was a closed Jewish sect. Writings such as the Zadokite documents, community rules, and the discipline manual provided extensive information about daily life in Qumran. In the same cave, parts of sacred texts recognized as part of the Holy Scriptures, including Genesis, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Judges, Samuel, Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Psalms, Zebur, as well as fragments of works such as the Book of Enoch, the Words of Moses, the Testament of Levi, Tobit, and Wisdom of Solomon, were found. Additionally, parts of a passage from Daniel 2 verse 4 were also discovered. The content of the Book of Enoch deals with the revelation of hidden divine knowledge to humans, the exaltation of God's justice and eternity, and addresses deep philosophical questions and explanations about God's will and its effects on humanity. The Book of Enoch consists of 5 main sections. 1. The secrets between the heavens and the earth. This section narrates Enoch's experiences as he receives knowledge from God and his journeys with celestial beings. 2. The story of the rebel angels. This chapter describes how certain angels rebelled against God's commands. It details how these angels came down to earth, joined with humans, and led them into sin. 3. Enoch's visions and future prophecies. This section discusses Enoch's visions of God's future justice, the end of the world, and the fate of humanity. 4. The sinners and the execution of justice. The book describes the evil in the world and how justice will eventually be executed. 5. Enoch's ascension to heaven and face-to-face meeting with God, one of the most important parts of the book, where Enoch ascends to meet God and receives divine revelations. The Book of Enoch, as a text revealing hidden divine knowledge, contains numerous profound teachings. Some of the key topics in the book include the ascension and fall of angels. The book describes a group of angels known as the Watchers, or Vigilant Angels, who rebelled against God's commands, descended to earth, and engaged with human women, giving birth to massive beings called Nephilim. This event is considered the cause of evil entering the world. God's justice and the end of the world. The Book of Enoch carries a strong prophecy about how God will punish the wicked and bring justice to the world. Themes of the apocalypse and the day of judgment are explored, with Enoch reminding humanity that God's justice will ultimately prevail. Enoch's ascension and visions. The book contains narratives of Enoch ascending to God's presence, learning heavenly secrets, and meeting God face to face, offering valuable teachings. Nephilim and the future of races. The Nephilim are giant beings born from the union of angels and human women. The book stresses that the eradication of these beings is part of God's justice, emphasizing their connection to evil in the world. A significant part of the Book of Enoch tells the story of the fallen angels, or watcher angels. These angels descended to earth, had relations with women, and taught forbidden knowledge such as the making of weapons, sorcery, and the secrets of plants. This led to an increase in evil and chaos on earth. Their relationship with humanity is judged by God in the Book of Enoch, which depicts a great catastrophe being sent as punishment for their rebellion and the rise of evil. This catastrophe is later revealed in the Book of Enoch as the flood during Noah's time. Noah, who is chosen by God to be the divine savior, is a descendant of Enoch, and his story is clearly linked to the teachings of Enoch, who prepared humanity for the great calamity. Enoch is a key religious figure in the ancient world, with his close communication with God and his celestial journeys making him one of the most important figures of that era.